It was a meeting that brought together the top brass of 5 ministries that bear responsibility for the demolitions in Nairobi. Officials from the lands, defense, local government, transport and internal security ministries were here to clarify issues arising from public hearings of the Joint Parliamentary Committee looking into the demolitions. The Ministries of Defense and Internal Security requested to present their case in a closed session, arguing some information was too sensitive for public consumption. The initial word was that the other 3 ministries would make their presentations in public, but this was not to be. After 3.5 hours of private discussions, it would appear the Executive and the Joint Committee agreed to keep secret what had been discussed.
I do not want to say anything beyond this. We will await the recommendations of the Joint Committee.
It is now almost 3 weeks since bulldozers demolished houses in Syokimau. The land in question is contested by the Kenya Airports Authority and private developers. KAA claims title to the land and says the buildings are to come down as they fall on Jomo Kenyatta International Airport flight path. The Kiang'ombe slums at JKIA were also demolished, though it's unclear whether all the demolitions there were done by the government under the security exercise. At Wilson Airport, residents of Mitumba village were kicked out before the demolition squad landed in Eastleigh. Several properties that neighbor the Moi airbase were demolished or marked for demolition until court orders and a public outcry stopped the exercise. The Ministry of Defense says the targeted buildings were a security risk.
It's quite obvious we are coming from a culture of impunity. Syokimau, in a way, is a window. It's an eye-opener.
One thing that comes out very, very clearly is that we all, as a nation, need to abide by the law, strongly follow the tenets of the new constitution.
The Syokimau demolition saw Parliament adjourn business to discuss it as a matter of urgency when it emerged Ministry of Lands officials may have colluded with fraudsters to create documents used to fool buyers. Meanwhile, the Executive Committee on the National Council of Churches of Kenya has also added its voice to the demolition saga, blaming it on impunity and corruption.
Kwa sababu ni corruption na ineptitude ya serikali ambao imetufikisha hapo, tunauliza kamati ya bunge ambao inachunguza mambo haya imalizie na kusema kuwa serikali iko na jukumu ya kulipa gharama ya Wakenya ambao wamepoteza manyumba zao in total.
Victims of the demolitions will be hoping that the report recommends compensation or resettlement and perhaps the prosecution of corrupt lands officials. But even if it does, they may find no comfort in it, given the history of previous parliamentary reports such as the one on pyramid schemes, which have remained as dead as a dodo. Patrick Amimo, KTN Prime.